Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Mahoraga's newest technique. Now, what Sukuna has been doing in the most recent chapter is kind of jumping Gojo, and of course we saw Agito in the last chapter, and what they're capable of doing being a combination of a few different Shikigami, including Round Deer, which I wasn't 100% sure on, but as it's been confirmed, it does also have the RCT healing ability, which made it very difficult to deal with. Now, it's not to say that Agito couldn't be dealt with, but it was actually at the end of the most recent chapter. So we do have that confirmation that even though Agito was powerful help, it was pretty short-lived, and Gojo ended up losing an arm for it, right? So in that way, what we're actually going to look at now is, because Agito is pretty much gone from what we've seen, there's only one new piece of info that's really given to us about the Shikigami, specifically Mahoraga. Now Mahoraga does in fact have a new ability, and Sukuna has been waiting on it, right? So it seems like there's a timetable from when Mahoraga can actually start to integrate techniques that have been used on it, and we're not sure exactly when this technique starts to activate, but what we do know in fact is that there is a time frame, right? So Mahoraga can do this so long as the time frame has been met and sufficient conditions have been met. Now, when those conditions, which we're not 100% sure on, have been in fact met, what we can go ahead and see is that Mahoraga can start using abilities that have been captured by it, or that it suffered some level of resistance from. So, for example, what we saw here is Sukuna used his ability, Cleave, Slash, and Mahoraga seems to be able to integrate those and start to apply them as an offensive force. So not only does Mahoraga have amazing regenerative powers and adaptability, but it also has AP and the ability to, of course, use those abilities that have been cast on it. So Mahoraga just went from, if Mahoraga was an 8 out of 10 Shikigami, to a 9 or a 10, and it's pretty much almost undoubtedly the strongest Shikigami we've seen, maybe even one of the strongest fighters we've seen, at least in the top 5 or so of the current era, because of these new abilities. Now, that is a lot to grasp, and Mahoraga does seem to be making an impact in a big way, but what we're going to see is how does Sukuna kind of elaborate on those abilities further if Mahoraga continues throughout the rest of the fight. And I'm scared, because if Mahoraga adapted to those things, what else could it adapt to and start to use? Because some of Gojo's abilities have been used on Mahoraga, right? And we don't know what Sukuna did with Mahoraga during the time frame between the initial challenge and when Gojo and Sukuna actually fought. So there could be some more hidden tricks that Sukuna has taught Mahoraga that we're going to start to see getting pulled out because of that adaptability and reflection of those ability attacks. So I'm excited for what Mahoraga can do, and it seems like Gege's given us some new abilities and parameters every time we see a new chapter. So I'm excited for the next chapter. I think we're probably going to see the end of this fight soon, and Gege's preparing us for the next, batch or wave of fighters to come in. So if you guys are excited, just drop a comment down below. Tell me what you're looking forward to. Are you excited for Yuta to come out? Are you excited for Yuji, Kashimo, or anyone else? Maybe even Maki. Just let me know and we'll get back to you.